In July 1981, a 24-year-old mother of two named Nova Welsh vanished without a trace in Birmingham, England. Her mysterious disappearance left everyone puzzled until 3 weeks later when her rotting body was discovered inside a storage cupboard at her very own home. Detectives initiated an investigation, but it would take 36 years to finally make a breakthrough. Shockingly, Nova's killer had been nearby all along, unbeknownst to the investigators. Now the question remains, who was this person, and what drove them to take Nova's life? Let's look at the cold case solved after 36 long years by chewing gum. This is the case of Nova Welsh. Today's case will lead us to Birmingham, a city in the metropolitan county of the West Midlands in England. It's also known as a city of 1,000 trades due to its manufacturing roots and diverse culinary scene, as well as its vibrant rock music and bustling nightlife. With a population exceeding 1 million people, it holds the distinction of being the second largest city in the United Kingdom. Nova was born in 1957 in Jamaica, and she had a younger sister named Valerie. Nova's carefree and joyful nature endeared her to everyone in the neighborhood. According to her best friend, Lorna Edmond, she always exuded a radiant personality, constantly wearing a smile. At the age of 10, Nova's mother, Lorna Welsh, made the courageous decision to relocate to the United Kingdom in search of better opportunities for her daughters. It was a challenging choice, requiring them to leave behind familiar faces and places that they held dear. However, Lorna's determination to provide her children with the best life possible propelled them on this journey. Thus, Nova and her mother and sister embarked on a new chapter of their lives in the UK. Adjusting to their new surroundings proved to be quite different from what they were accustomed to. Yet the family adapted and settled into their fresh environment with relative ease. Around 16, Nova crossed paths with a young man named Osmond Bell. He was exactly the same age as her, and they fell deeply in love. Their romantic connection blossomed swiftly, prompting Nova to leave her family home and move in with Osmond. 2 years later, they welcomed their first child, Jonathan, followed by another son named Lee 4 years after that. Nova embraced motherhood with unwavering devotion, and she adored her children unconditionally. To sustain their growing family, Nova worked part-time as a cleaner, while Osmond pursued a career in construction. Initially, life seemed promising for them, but as time passed, the affection between Nova and Osmond began to wane. Their relationship was marked by frequent arguments and sporadic episodes of violence, leaving Nova with visible bruises inflicted by Osmond. Nova was increasingly discontent and confided in her younger sister Valerie and close friends about her hardships. Eventually, she decided to end the relationship and seek love elsewhere. In May 1981, she encountered a man named Wayne Newby, embarking on a new romantic journey. However, Osmond was unwilling to let go of Nova. The situation escalated, resulting in more intense conflicts between them. During one distressing incident, witnessed by Nova's stepsister Sonia during her visit, Osmond choked Nova, exacerbating an already volatile situation. After the altercation with Sonia, Osmond was compelled to leave the house when threatened with a call to the police. Nova experienced a sense of relief with his absence, hopeful that the situation would improve. Now she could spend more time with Wayne, without the constant fear of encountering an enraged Osmond. On the fateful evening of July 24, 1981, Nova arranged for her 2 sons, Jonathan and Lee, to stay with their father, Osmond, as she planned to go dancing with Wayne and some friends. She dropped off her children and proceeded to the club, enjoying herself and feeling a sense of freedom. As darkness descended upon the night, Nova bid farewell to Wayne and their friends, making her way back to her apartment. Tragically, little did anyone know that this would be the last time she was seen alive. The following morning, Nova's neighbors, Carmen and Wendell Turner, who resided below her apartment, were awakened by an argument from above. Nova's tearful cries could be heard, though the commotion eventually subsided. Later that evening, another neighbor observed Nova appearing visibly distressed. Nearly 7 hours after midnight, Around 12:30 a.m., Carmen and Wendell were startled by a loud bang from above. Puzzled by the noise source at such an hour, it was soon followed by a second bang, reminiscent of a forcefully kicked door. Anticipating further disturbances, they remained attentive but were met with silence. Eventually, they retired for the night, unaware of the significance of the sounds they had just heard. The day was July 27, 1981, a Monday like any other for the residents of Birmingham engrossed in their daily routines. However, Nova should have appeared at work on that day and the subsequent one. No one had seen her or knew of her whereabouts. Around that time, Nova's mother Lorna and her sister Valerie had permanently relocated from the United Kingdom to Miami in the United States, hoping Nova would eventually join them with her children. Once they settled in Miami, they attempted to contact Nova but were unable to reach her. Within them, concern grew. "We were trying to reach her to confirm that we had arrived safely. Still, we could never get any answer," recalled Nova's closest friend. Lorna was among the first to notice Nova's absence. Knowing her friend's character, it was inconceivable for Nova to disregard calls and remain absent for several days. Nevertheless, Lorna believed there must be a tangible reason behind it all. After careful consideration, she resolved to visit Nova's apartment and uncover the truth. Arriving at the door, she discovered it locked. Despite her persistent knocking and calls to Nova's name, there was still no response. Lorna found the situation perplexing, questioning whether her friend had left the country without telling anyone. However, something else caught her attention and ignited a sense of unease. Nova's freshly washed clothes hung on the line, an unusual sight as Nova was meticulous about promptly removing them once dry. Lorna was keenly aware of this peculiarity, confirming that all was not well. In a final attempt to validate her concerns, Lorna decided to contact Osmond and inquire about Nova's whereabouts. However, he informed her that he had not seen her and that their 2 children were in his custody. Faced with this disheartening revelation, Lorna proceeded to the police station and officially reported her friend as missing. It was August 9, 1981, a full 2 weeks since Nova had vanished without leaving a trace. The authorities wasted no time and immediately initiated a search for her. They reached out to Nova's close friends, but none had any information regarding her whereabouts. Osmond was also questioned, with officers inquiring about the last time he had seen Nova and why he had not reported her disappearance earlier. In response, Osmond claimed that he believed she had left with her new boyfriend or departed for America with her family. 3 days after Lorna reported Nova's disappearance, on August 12, 1981, she received a letter in her mailbox. Initially assuming it was from a relative, Lorna quickly realized her mistake upon breaking the seal and reading its contents. The letter described a fight, witnessed by the boyfriend of its anonymous author, involving Nova and a man she had been with around the time she vanished. According to the letter, the man had forcefully grabbed and struck Nova. Lorna found herself perplexed, unaware of the identity of the letter's author, who had deliberately chosen to remain anonymous. However, based on the details, Lorna deduced that the writer was likely a woman. Without hesitation, she promptly handed the letter to the police, who redirected their focus now towards Wayne, the man with whom Nova had been involved before her disappearance. Yet when questioned, Wayne maintained that he had no knowledge of Nova's whereabouts or destination. On August 18, 1981, Nova's neighbor contacted the police to investigate a putrid odor permeating the house. Its source remained a mystery, but the overpowering stench caused great discomfort to everyone present. When the police arrived, they quickly discerned that the odor was particularly concentrated in Nova's upstairs apartment. Proceeding to the location, they discovered the door locked, prompting them to forcibly gain entry. As they stepped inside, the horrid smell grew increasingly potent, forcing the officers to cover their noses and grimace in disgust while embarking on their search for its origin. The house, in a state of disarray with settled dust and visible cobwebs, suggested it had been abandoned. Officers discovered a strong smell emanating from a broken cupboard lock held with chewing gum under the stairs. Inside the cupboard, they found Nova's decaying body, covered with a blanket and papers. Nova's family was informed, and an autopsy revealed she died from neck pressure. Osmond was initially arrested, but released due to lack of evidence. In 2014, DNA on the gum and letter seal implicated Osmond, leading to his rearrest. Despite maintaining his innocence, Osmond was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 12 years in prison, bringing closure to Nova's family after 36 long years. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more thrilling videos like this one. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and we'll see you in the next one.